Bob Chapman is our guest for another 12, 13 minutes. Let's go to Maria in New York. Maria, you're on the air. Welcome.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. In the same breath, I'd like to say, Alex, congratulations and my sympathy on being enemy number one out there. I have to say the misguided agenda, the powers that be, really underestimated the ability for the people to overcome all their poisoned food and water, and that people and kids, and that's the key, our teens and our kids and our young people are awakening. And I've been aware of this stuff for years and been called crazy, and now that the hammer has fallen, people are going, what was that you were saying? Tell me again. People, we've been under attack since
let me be clear. It isn't hype, and I know everybody sees this for themselves. It isn't. I mean, wear a Patriot T-shirt out in public and see how many people come up to you and pat you on the back or want to hang out with you or want to get involved with you in action. For years I've been saying there's an awakening because every year it gets better, but now it's just exponential. Go ahead.
So, I think people are coming and saying, we want to be part of the solution. So what we're doing is we're gathering community, and I have a good bunch of people and it's getting bigger and stronger, that we're getting together and developing ways to survive and meet our everyday needs, being intra-dependent within our own little community. And Alex, we're on it. We're mobilizing. We have a plan to hold our county legislators accountable, and I don't know about other counties, but our county has home rule, and we expect these people to use it, and we want to create a bubble for a little protection for ourselves. And I have a question, though. If it does come down to it, which it's looking, the writing's on the wall, it certainly may. There's little dials that can be turned in the military sector, in the medical sector, and in the economic sector, and it's not going to take much, and we're hitting martial law. I can smell it, and I've been smelling it, and the odor is getting stronger. So my question to you, because I'm just a little country girl out in the backwoods, but still, that long arm is coming out, and it's ready to tap me on the shoulder, and I know it. So is there any safe place on this planet? Is there some
All right, Maria, I hear your question. Let's ask Bob Chapman that. Bob?
We're all going to get it. And it'll be in varying degrees. The United States and Europe will probably suffer the most economically, financially, and in the event of martial law, or we might get down to the road warrior level. It's interesting that the second and third worlds probably won't be as affected as we are. Yes, they're going to have a hard time, but, people don't realize in America that people in Asia and in Latin America, they pay cash for their homes for the most part, like 99%. So they don't have this burden that we have in the United States and Europe of having leveraged homes. So they're not going to be as in bad a shape financially as one might think they would be.
And a lot of that's because they've been scammed before repeatedly. They're totally wise. I mean, you think there's an awakening in the U.S., ladies and gentlemen, the awakening in other parts of the world is even bigger because they woke up a long time ago. Let's go ahead and talk to Pat in New Jersey. Pat, you're on the air with Bob Chapman.
Hi, Alex. Hi, Bob. First, I just wanted to comment on Scott's theory that we can't win. Now, I know that David Rockefeller says that supranational...
Hold on a minute. Sir, are you on a headset or something?
No. Is that better?
No.
Not. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just think that, that the world isn't ready politically to accept anything other than democracy, and as long as 10 or 15% of people have a clue and start talking about it, I think that there's no way that politicians and corporations could resist that force. But I also I had two recent run-ins with the New World Order. One was my family has a Christmas tree business in New Jersey. We have to get a permit for every year. And when I went to apply this year, I have to get a state police background check. And they actually referred me to a private company to get fingerprinted.
Let me stop you and comment on that. First it was school teachers, then realtors, then people in banking. And now just all over the country they say, oh, you want to have any business, you've got to be fingerprinted. You're all criminals. This is Patriot Act compliance. and it's totally unconstitutional and a fraud. And a lot of times it's just bureaucracy. They're just ordering you to do this. Why are they saying you've got to be fingerprinted for a Christmas tree business?
It's a peddler's permit you have to get every year, and you have to get fingerprinted every year. Even if they have your prints on record, you have to go in and make an appointment with a private company called Sagomorpho. It's a European company that you have to go to, and they fingerprint you. And then they own your fingerprints. And if I don't do this, we can't have the lot. We're going to have some, official come in and shut down our lot if we don't have the occupancy permit.
Yeah, people need to fight that. I mean, home of the free, land of the brave, thumb printing. You take your kids to the airport, body scanners record their naked bodies. This isn't freedom. Bob Chapman.
Absolutely. And to do what Alex says, after you get your permit and then start working with your congressman or your local people who are in charge of that and say, look, we shouldn't have to do this. Let's put a stop to it and work on it.
I mean, think about it. Thumbprints to sell Christmas trees, and it's just disgusting. And I know I guess you have another story, Pat, about Big Brother?
I do. I was in Philadelphia with my dad. We were there having lunch. It was raining. We're walking in business suits, and we're walking down the street, and the security guard, and we're right in front of Independence Hall, like directly in front. And the security guard starts yelling at us, telling us to get out of the street. So we step over this chain that is in front of Independence Hall, but it still seems like just the sidewalk there. And the guy runs up to us and he says, whoa, you have to go out the exit. And then I said, what exit? I'm on the sidewalk. Where am I supposed to exit? And he said, sir, go out the exit. And he just kept saying that. And then he says, sir, this is government property. I need you to step out the exit right now. And so I said, oh, government property, ooh. And so I'm like, all right, we'll go. And me and my dad start walking towards the exit. And then the guy grabs my shoulder, and he's like, oh, whoa, wait a second. You wait right here. And he blocked me and my dad from walking. And he said, you need to learn some respect. You need to learn to stop running your mouth. And he started physically blocking us and grabbing both of us. He's a pretty big guy. And I'm like, you're not my kindergarten teacher. I'm allowed to talk back to you if I want. Are you a cop? I couldn't tell. He just had on a big raincoat. And he was a private security guard, a company.
Let me stop you. This is the nature of tyranny. CNN had a big headline. The AP reported on it, how a woman in China, a CNN reporter, was wearing a Obama as Mao. And they arrested her and said it was disrespectful of their great murdering leader. And that's what America is. Everywhere I go, you can pull a camera out 200 yards from the Washington Monument. You can be in downtown Austin. Cops walk over and say, why do you have a camera? And it's the same thing with security guards. They've been told to brutalize you and to treat you like slaves. I watch them in D.C. and New York treat families like they're scum. And this is the nature of a police state where they give you orders, too, that you can't follow. They say, take the exit. You go, where's the exit? I said, exit. My guys were at a city park a quarter mile from the Federal Reserve shooting a shot of it from the horizon. The security guards, this is on YouTube in Kansas City, came to them off of their jurisdiction, put their hands on their guns, and said, I'm going to arrest you if you don't leave. And they were on the sidewalk at a city park, and so there wouldn't be trouble. They left, and they got off on the power trip. Bob Chapman, I mean, this is the Soviet Union.
There's no doubt about it. It's probably more like East Germany used to be. The Stasi was probably worse than the KGB. And as it turns out, after the wall came down, half the people in the country were spying for the government on the other half. And that's the next step. We'll have everybody spying on everybody. It's just like the Hitler-Jünger all over again.
Hey, how did this end, though? I mean, he got to have his power, his enjoyment. How did this end? Did you learn to worship him?
No, so I said, are you a police officer? Because if you're not, I'm going to keep walking. You asked me to leave, and I'm leaving. You're not going to detain me for, using the wrong tone of voice with you. And he keeps blocking me, so I said, show me your badge if you're a cop. Otherwise, I'm going to put my hands behind my back, and I'm going to walk that way. And if you step in front of me, you're going to get pushed. So I just did that. I just put my hands behind my back so he couldn't say I hit him, and I just walked out. And then this other guy comes up, his backup, who he called when I was standing there, another private security guard, and he says, "Whoa, where do you think you're going? You can't talk to my guy like that." And then, within seconds, these three parked, and this is on the steps of Independence Hall, so just the irony is insane. And then seconds later, these three parked police come up, and they're like, "Hey, you just hold it right there to me and my dad." And my dad puts his hands up just to try to explain. And the park police are like, "Whoa, sir, put your hands down and stand still, like nobody moves."
No, it's a religion of them training us that they are gods, we are slaves. And that happened to me in D.C. I'd be walking down a park and taping. They'd say, "Hey, stop right there, security guards." And I would just say, "Hey, buddy, you can beat the rap, but you can't beat the ride. You go ahead and set me up, but I'm going to personally sue you, criminal." And those scumbags would back down instantly because they're cowardly, hateful, Nazi trash that hate America.